Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm UncleLander and this is Gran Turismo 2 GT mode playthrough. On the last episode we have managed to finish the 40 laps on Seattle Circuit and we gained the Ford Escort rally car. On today's agenda, on this episode, I'm going to go for 50 laps of the special stage of Road 5, and as my weapon of choice, I decided to get a Toyota GT1 T020 from 1999. This is my weapon of choice. We already have tested this car and how it performs on one of the earlier episodes, so there's no point of repeating that. So I already have the car picked. Let's say we go for the race. And I have worked a little bit off YouTube to get this car ready and prepared for this specific track. So I think I'm pretty much good. I'm pretty much set. It's gonna be 50 laps on the special stage Road 5. And the cars that we're gonna fight against are all the cars. Well, maybe not all the cars. Are the cars from the All-Stars Cup, All-Star Championship, LM cars. Basically how I'm picking my cars for endurance races is that I have a spreadsheet, and that spreadsheet tells me which cars I'm going to be present. Then I'm making a selection of one car from all of the presented into the spreadsheet, and I'm basically picking that car, modifying it, and I'm racing with it as well. I hope that was clean enough, even though I have difficult time explaining stuff in general. So, settings for the car. We're gonna start with the suspension. I already have made screenshot for myself, so I could, so I can basically like figure out what I need to do. Actually, I need to reopen the screenshot because it opened like two things. Hold on, I already have them marked. Okay, there we go. So, first we're gonna start with the suspension, and the suspension settings I have as follows. Those the settings I have over here are old, so don't really follow them. 4.5 and the rear is gonna be 10. The suspension height is gonna be at 75 millimeters because Special Stage Road 5 is a very stable track. It's not gonna really give me that much of a trouble. Damper, bound, and rebound set up at 3 and 6. The camber is gonna be set at 1 and 1.5. Tow at -0.05 because more is not required, and stabilizes at 5 and 6 because this car is pretty damn stable on its own as well. Now, the gearbox. With the gearbox, I had the most fun. I ain't gonna lie, because this car just very highly overrevs on the first gear, it very highly overrevs on the second gear, and the third gear is where we're gonna have a little bit of fun, because we're gonna have to make it a little bit wider. The fourth gear, we're gonna set it up to 184. Actually, it's not really that big of a change. The fifth gear on 147. And the sixth gear at 7.42. With the final at 3.695. And with this setting, the car should basically every single gear on the car should start at least 6,000 RPM. And I think the LSD, anything like this, has been already set up because downforce is definitely max. Yeah, I think it's all good. I think it is all good. All right. 50 laps to Special Stage Road 5. Let's go. Forgot to adjust the arm supports. And what do we got? Jaguar, we got one more Toyota GT1, and we have two R9, two Nissans R390. Okay, now I need to get rid of that, get rid of the blue of that tires because I have no grip whatsoever. and now it's 50 laps from beginning till the end. Well, I'm gonna try to talk about stuff that have also happened. So, as of recently, I have witnessed the Nintendo game show of some sort. I don't really remember the name. Wow, that was very good. And from all of those games that I presented, because obviously they presented like every single Mario game to imagine on the planet, and how they're gonna port like 90% of them like into the Switch itself. But in between all of those games that were definitely noticeable on that list, there was a Tomb Raider trilogy, the Tomb Raider Classic trilogy, the ones from the 90s but remastered, with new graphics, new textures, new models. And what I have noticed, the first thing that I have noticed is that they basically took the model of Lara that was used for so many times on like the cover of the magazines, not like in-game model, but her like facial model, and basically they decided to use that as an actual texture for Lara herself, and it actually looks pretty damn good. So we're gonna be basically with that remaster, we're gonna get that remaster not just on Nintendo Switch, but we're also gonna get it on consoles and the PC as well. It's gonna be a very first release next year. And the requirements for that trilogy is actually going to be very, very low. If I had my old PC, the one that I used to have as a spare, I could launch that game like without any problems, because the minimum requirements are only Windows 7 and 980 graphic card. And that's basically all that this thing is requiring. And for that remaster, we are only paying $30, at least as of recording of this episode. So I think that all things considered, I believe that's a very fair, very good price. And I'm definitely gonna be getting it. Probably gonna pull up a fundraiser for that, because $30, that's quite a bit. And whoa me, I have decided to spend a little bit too much money on video games this year, because I have bought Minecraft for myself, which I highly recommend as a palette changer to play Minecraft. It calms you down. It's a great experience. And then I saw that there's the Yakuza game, so I bought all the Yakuza games. Not all, 6 of them, 7, whatever. So I'm gonna put a fundraiser for that. But I'm actually quite interested. I'm actually quite motivated to play that entire trilogy and make a marathon out of that. What's kind of a shame is that in the entire classic pack, they decided not to include the 4th and the 5th game that was using the same engine, The Last Revelation and Chronicles, which I think it should be just included like 5 games. I would be willing to pay like $45 if they would like add those 2 games as well. I wouldn't mind. Even a little bit. And I can already tell when it comes to my experience with Tomb Raider, I only have played the first one. I have played demo only. It was like, I think from the demo they decided to include only a like 2nd level, From Tomb Raider 2, I actually have the most fond memories because I had it on the demo disc, and I also had it on. I actually had the original disc of that. And it was like a very fun game. I think it's gonna be very cool to refresh the memory of Tomb Raider 2 because I played that game the most out of all the Tomb Raiders that were possible. Then there was Tomb Raider 3, and I do remember playing a demo of that Tomb Raider 3. And it was a level that I don't think it was either very heavily modified in the full release, or it was not even like remotely included in the game whatsoever, because the demo level that I had played, and I still remember it, was the prison cell. You were basically stuck in the prison, you need to escape, find the weapons, do the things. But if there's something that I cannot stand about Tomb Raider 3 was the ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous, amount of backtracking. Like, imagine yourself exploring the entire level, going very, very far, only to press a button that unlocks the door at the very beginning of the level. Tomb Raider 3 was very famous for that. Then we had The Last Revelations, and I never managed to beat The Last Revelations. The Last Revelations, I was stuck in like this one room. I still kind of vaguely remember what kind of room it was. It was a room in which basically the enemies that you were fighting against, it was like a demonic creature, and you had like an item, like a tool that you need to use over there. Don't remember how it looked like, but if you did something wrong, the beast was constantly respawning. And I was so stuck in it. It was back in the days when there was no playthroughs, no guides, no nothing. I was so stuck on that thing that I basically decided to quit, and I never looked at The Last Revelation ever again. Though there was one thing that I can really say about The Last Revelations is that it was probably one of the more vibrant and more prettier games of the PlayStation 1 era. That's for sure. And then we had Chronicles, which from Chronicles, the only thing that I remember is like, I think there was the mission with the Russian submarine that you infiltrate, and that was pretty much it. Because everything else I just don't remember about that game. And from like Anniversary, I'm not even talking about Angel of Darkness, because that's you don't talk about the Angel of Darkness. It's like Fight Club. It's like a Fight Club rule. You don't talk about that fucking game. I have not played Anniversary. I have not played Legend, though I own those games, but I never have played them. And then the modern ones, which I think I only have the standard edition of the first modern Tomb Raider, and I don't know, I wasn't really keen on it that much. It's not a bad game. It's just something that I would not really enjoy myself. But the classic Tomb Raiders, if I'm gonna obtain that classic that trilogy remasters, I'm definitely doing like a marathon of all Tomb Raider games that I own. And I'm not even sure if I own the Angel of Darkness. I know that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Chronicles, Anniversary, Legends, and one of the modern ones. But Angel of Darkness, like I said, I would rather forget about this game's existence. I just never liked it. It just was bad. Bad written all over it. Played the latest games and they're all really good. Yeah, I guess fair. At least that would be fair. I guess it's just me and my own preference. 10 laps, we're going to the pits, which also gives me opportunity to drink some tea. But I'm really interested in like replaying the classics and playing the more future installments. Especially the Anniversary Legends, which a lot of people is actually saying their praises about those games. For me, it was Tomb Raider 2. I don't know. Maybe it is because I spent the most time with Tomb Raider 2. Also, I probably forgot to mention it. Or did I mention that this the entire playthrough is recorded on live on Twitch? If I didn't, this entire playthrough is recorded live on Twitch. Twitch.tv/UncleLander. Come on, say hi. It's nice. Anyway, back to the topic with Tomb Raider. I really want to refresh that good old memory. I think the other thing that I remember about the Tomb Raider, at least the classic, were the tank controls. Tank controls, which I hope they're gonna keep. Because for the camera perspective that you were actually using, tank controls were actually pretty solid. And I'm most likely gonna play those games with a controller. Because that's how I played the classic Tomb Raiders. Now that the mouse and keyboard, like a lot of people are actually doing, but with the actual PlayStation controller. Yeah, and auto aim. I mean, it needed to have auto aim. There was not really that much of a possibility to give player at that time, at that day, like, you know, 1996, 97, 98, to give a player a good aiming down sights, or even kind of reticles for the player to aim without it being clunky. I mean, good example of that, of like very good aiming with controller, very good free aiming with the controller, but still being clunky, would be Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor basically kind of forced you to stand still while you aim with the crosshair. While you hold one of the buttons, you aim with the crosshair. I mean, it's a pretty good solution, but still clunky as hell. Yeah, without auto aim, I don't know how they're gonna solve it. Unless you can actually have a reticle and you're aiming with the mouse, then yeah, the mouse and keyboard would be 100% usable. Other than that, I don't really see that much of a rhyme and reason. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for that remaster. From the other news, the PlayStation have its own like PlayStation Connect thing. Or was it? I don't remember the names of the shows. I'm really horrible at renaming the names. But PlayStation also had its own like every 3-month or every month demonstration of what games they're gonna still release on their console. Which, congratulations to Sony, you're actually releasing more than one game. And from all the games that are gonna get released, the only thing that actually brought my interest was Resident Evil, the Resident 4 remake, with the separate ways, which is great. I think we have waited long enough for the separate ways to be released. The Mercenaries is gonna get additional. It's gonna get additional like free content. But for separate ways, we are gonna have to pay $10. Which, hey, on one side, paying $10, it's not really that much. Sure. Like, no, $10, it's like no big even for me. Even for me. But let me tell you something. Separate Ways was included in almost every single release of Resident Evil 4 besides the GameCube. And now we have to pay for it. But because it's $10, a lot of people are just nodding around and saying, yeah, that's fine, that's perfectly cool. And I don't really think we should. Maybe it's just me being complaining a little bit over here. But if that content was available in the classic day one, including assignment Ada, all in one package, the entire game was included in the whole package, then why we should pay $10 for this? Like right now, our people are going to be like, it's just $10. But what, you know, imagine what's gonna happen in the future. What if they're gonna cut the DLCs like this and they're gonna ask for more and more and more? People are gonna be, it's just $10, just $15, it's just $20. At a certain point, the greed might reach so freaking high that developers are gonna require full game price for just the DLC. That's what I'm mostly afraid of, to be quite honest. And that is genuinely my only complaint, my only fear, that in the future, DLCs, the price of DLCs are gonna raise more and more and more. We are currently in a situation in which every single service, most of the services, are just increasing prices left and right for no fucking reason. Like, I used to pay $5 for the Spotify, give or take. I'm counting everything into American dollar. I used to pay $5 for Spotify. Now I'm paying $7. Why? Why the sudden price raise? Like, even the PlayStation subscription, which I do not own the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation Plus or Xbox. Why all of that raises up in the price? For, like, it's basically this dilemma of things just constantly raising in price, but people not having enough money to pay for this shit. And it's pretty sad, because at one point I'm gonna have to be like, yeah, I'm not gonna pay like $10 for 1 month for Spotify. Like, fuck that. I understand that music is not getting created for free. Nothing gets created for free or out of thin air. And I perfectly understand that. Trust me, I really do. But there, at the one point, there's gonna be a situation in which nobody's gonna be able to afford support the musicians whatsoever. Anyway, enough about complaining about the real world and like fears. I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I'm hoping for the assignment Ada to be. I hope for assignment Ada because the entire game is like 7-8 hours depending how well you play. I hope that assignment Ada is gonna be 2 hours. I really want assignment Ada to be 2 hours. Let's also not forget that the remake kinda did not include the U3 in the platter of boss fights. So I do hope that Ada is gonna have to fight the U3. Don't really need to fight the Saddler. As long as they're gonna include the U3 into the boss fight list, I'm gonna be perfectly happy. Because if you're gonna pay $10 for just walking from point A to point B and not having like any kind of plot twists or maybe tiny plot twist, or I'm not gonna get like a single boss fight from all of that, then I'm gonna be hugely disappointed. What if trailer for the assignment Ada have showed up is that Ada actually might be infected. So maybe the separate ways is gonna be about Ada getting infected and her trying to find the cure for herself, while also giving tips to Leon on the way as well, because she kind of gives the tips about how to get rid of the virus, not the virus, but how to get rid of the parasite. It's RE4, it's not the RE Classic. I mean, at this point, it's just speculation. A speculation that could be based on evidence, considering all the scenes that we have saw. But still, I'm having some hopes for that DLC. $10 is not much, so I'm gonna pay him. I'm gonna buy him myself. No biggie, no problem. What I hope to see is maybe Luis cooperating with Ada. Maybe not being like, hey, Ada and Luis like walking together, but having a little bit more and different interactions than what they had in the main story, which was like maybe like 2-3 scenes and that's it. Other than that, I don't really know. From this year's game releases, we're also gonna get the Metal Gear Solid. I already own those Metal Gear Solid games. We're gonna get Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 on PC, it's all gonna be like, you know, stable releases of the game, like at least properly patched. Cross fingers. And I really want to play those games, but I'm gonna play them next year because the rest of this year I have already occupied, because after Gran Turismo 2 I'm gonna upgrade the hard drive, I think. I'm gonna play some different games for a little bit until I'm gonna... Actually, I should be able to beat the entire Gran Turismo 2 exactly the same day as I'm gonna get my stitches removed. Then I'm gonna probably give that PC to the shop for like a day or two, so they can check the equipment, install the bigger hard drive, so I can install more games on it, and start working on YouTube edits and whatnot. Considering that I have already announced that like several times already, I'm gonna split the content quite a bit, which is gonna make me even more busy. Because I'm gonna make separate playthroughs for YouTube and some of the separate videos for YouTube. And I'm gonna stream on Twitch as well, but I'm basically gonna stream less often. I'm basically gonna split the streaming that I'm gonna stream every other day. It's basically gonna be one day YouTube, one day Twitch. And I think it's gonna be better. Better for me, in general. Depending on how much I'm gonna learn about video editing. I might, you know, do stuff a little bit differently. Because I'm gonna start from like baby steps, like basic video editing. And then maybe, if I will be able to afford a license for like a video editing software that's not gonna last only 1 year, which I believe the 1 year licenses are stupid. I really believe those 1 year licenses are just ridiculous. It should be just you buy a license for the entire life and that's it. But I digress, probably. Yeah, there's so many programs on the market, and getting the right one that's gonna do all the things that I would like them to do is difficult. Because I could get one for free, sure, no problem, and it's gonna do the basic stuff. But what if I will want to move to more advanced things, more advanced edits? Then that's gonna be a problem. Because I'm gonna buy one software, then that software is not gonna be good enough, and I'm gonna have to switch, and that means more money spent. And for hoping that the software is gonna have all the things that I wanted to have. Because I don't think I would, if I would ever have to buy a software, I probably would never buy one of the Adobe stuff. I have not heard a lot of good words about Adobe since the last time I used them. Shortcut. Shortcut. I have worked with it before. I think the Shortcut is the software that we can get for free, so... I actually still have it on my browser. I did not read into it too deeply. I mean, I can start with the Shortcut because I do not recommend starting with the Windows Movie Maker because Windows Movie Maker is such... Oh my god. Let me put it like this. The Windows 7 Movie Maker was good. It was actually pretty decent. It was a much more polished, much more detailed, much better version of the, previous versions of the Windows Movie Maker. The Windows 10 version that I'm currently using is a piece of shit. It's an absolute piece of shit because you open it, you cannot even render the movies as much as you could on the previous versions. And on when you edit the video, when you play the video, when you try to do something, it's all, the entire box is like 3x4, and on the sides, on the left and on the right side, you don't even have like tools that are being displayed. You have fucking ads. And holy shit, is that annoying. Hey, you want a full version of the software that was free for freaking decades? Well, pay us $25. That's what Microsoft says. Which I genuinely believe that that's a scumbaggery at its finest. And I cannot stand that. Like currently when I'm posting my videos on YouTube, I'm basically going from the Twitch bots. I'm not downloading the files, I do not have the big enough drive currently as we speak right now. So, a lot of viewers, a lot of people basically need to deal with the quality of videos that they see. Which honestly, it could be worse. It always could be a little bit worse. But yeah, Windows Movie Maker, I'm never gonna use it ever again. Because I used it maybe on only one video that I have ever rendered. It was like Fallout 4 clips compilation, and that's it. You know, the 60 FPS footage in 1080p automatically decided to render down to 720p at 30 FPS. Basically making me look like I was playing on a freaking console. Even back then, with my 980 Ti, I could squeeze the Fallout 4 at 60 FPS in most locations. Most. But yeah, I'm gonna work on that. The one I'm gonna install the bigger hard drive, which I already have bought. And I didn't even buy like the 2 terabyte as I planned. I bought the 4 terabyte the hard drive. I basically added a little bit of my own money into this, and I bought a bigger hard drive. And it's gonna do a job. I really hope it's gonna do a job. Because I'm definitely gonna download like every single game that I'm gonna play next year. With 4 terabytes, I'm probably gonna spend like 2 terabytes on games, 2 terabytes on videos. That is basically my plan. Which I think 2 terabytes on videos is gonna be already good enough. If there's one thing that I have noticed there is a trend of that on YouTube, but before I'm gonna talk about that, I'm gonna take a sip. Is that now if you want to watch videos in that highest quality, like for example, a lot of people are posting videos in 1080p. If you want to watch on the max videos, the maximum bitrate right now, you need to have YouTube Premium, which I don't understand why. Why all of a sudden the watching at the higher bitrate requires me to pay with a premium? Why should I do that? Why should I pay for a thing that was available for so many years for free? And I think it's not even like set up by the YouTube itself. I think it's set up by the content creators. They can go and set it up themselves, I believe. And I do not really like it's not really that big of a difference on the quality. But I really don't like that option. I really don't like it. Because we have to consider the fact that the YouTube video rendering and compressing is pretty damn bad. And I still till this day, I still don't get it how people can post very crisp and high quality videos on YouTube that are looking basically very good. Like there's no blur, there's nothing. I don't know. Like I said, I'm pretty much a baby, a little toddler when it comes to video editing. Something tells me that it might have something to do with recording. Okay, with like playing video, like for example me right now, playing video in one quality, but recording it in the lower resolution, I guess. And then just setting up a bitrate in a specific way, because I do genuinely believe it's not really that much about the resolution, it's more about what kind of bitrate you're gonna set up for the video. The higher the bitrate, the better. But also with the higher the bitrate, the bigger the file size. So there's definitely going to be a lot to learn. Right now I'm using the convenience of posting Twitch VODs, but that's definitely going to change. When it comes to like going back to the topic of the Resident Evil a little bit, because we are talking about separate ways. On this Halloween, I'm actually gonna play 2 new Resident Evil games that I never played before. We are going to play Revelations 1 and 2. And I'm gonna see if I'm gonna hate those games as much. And I will see if I'm gonna hate those games just as much as I hated playing RE5 with the AI. Yeah, 2 new RE games, Revelations 1 and 2. I already have seen the story of those games. I think the story is pretty alright. It's, for me at this point, it's all about gameplay. Because this Halloween Marathon, it's gonna have a lot of Resident Evil games, let me tell you. Resident Evil Classic, the DualShock Director's Cut Edition. RE1 Remake, Resident Evil 2 Classic and Remake, Resident Evil 3 Classic, because the remake never was released, and nobody's gonna change my mind about that. Resident Evil 4 Classic and the Remake. I refuse to play RE5 alone. I'm never gonna touch Resident Evil 6 because I have dignity. And Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 8. Well, actually, I'm gonna have to play Revelations before Resident Evil 7 and 8. Not even that, no way, Revelations? Okay, so Revelations 1 would be like directly after RE4. I mean, I could play Revelations 2 like directly after Revelations 1 as well, because it's kind of a continuation. But I think I would need to play, if I would add the Resident Evil 5 to the list of the games, I would need to play Revelations 1 first. Then RE5, then Revelations 2, most likely. Though I could be, I probably am wrong about the, about which game story-wise is, you know, which one was first, which one was last. At least when it comes to the Revelations games. So you basically have to count 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 games. 10 games, that's already like 20 days. No, I'm not even kidding. That's already at least 20 days, and I wanted to play Dead Space, I wanted to play Silent Hill. And when I'm gonna have a time to play those Silent Hill games, like seriously. Like, I would need to practice playing Resident Evil 1 and 2, so I can beat them all in one day, so I can just jump from game to game. Especially the Resident Evil 1, because out of all games, I can truly admit that the game that I have a very little practice in is the Resident Evil 1, the classic and the remake. But the thing is, I don't play classic that much because I just don't play it. I don't really have a good reason not to play it. But with the remake is so freaking good as a Resident Evil game, or horror game in general, that I have this, you know, I follow this little secret rule. If the game is very good, don't play it too often, so we don't get bored of it. And that's pretty much how I see it. But if there's one thing that I'm not gonna do because I simply dislike it, is playing the Chris scenarios. Basically, me and Chris scenarios, we are not the best of buddies. We are not the best of friends. Especially in the RE Classic. Holy shit, I hate the RE Classic Chris's scenario. I cannot stand it. And there's a good reason why I cannot stand it. Hunters. Hunters in Chris's RE Classic are just such a freaking pain to kill. Because they can just execute you at any moment, no matter how much health you have. And also, hunters in the classic Resident Evil, they have stupid hitboxes. It's not as bad in the remake. But I simply, if I have to pick one of the scenarios, I prefer Jill's scenario at any point, at any moment. You wonder how Matt the Rock, shout out to Matt the Rock because he's a freaking legend. I hope he's gonna get back to the health soon, the full health, because he was, I think he was sick. I think he is sick, in a matter of fact. Sick of our bullshit. That's what he is sick for. Sick of. Anyway, yeah, genuinely, shout out to Matt Rock. Come back to the health soon, man. I'm gonna joke a little bit. He's probably right now, just, you know, sitting back, chilling, being in bed. Hey Matt, hey Matt, how about you gonna do a stream? I fucking can't! Fuck that! that thing is so versatile, you can use it with so many things. But yeah, he plays it on daily. I mean, at this point, I think the only challenge that he haven't done yet is playing Resident Evil games blindfolded. And then of course he could just go freaking. Then he could go basically full Asian difficulty. Blindfolded, advanced strats, no hit. This how Matt basically plays is that he have a route of the things that he does in the game, or for every game, and he basically have learned of those routes so much that at this point for him isn't just muscle memory. The fastest, most efficient way to play the fastest, most efficient way to play the game, that's basically how he plays. Hello, Dodger. He plays God mode, just God mode. I mean, yeah, he's very damn good. I would need to... I'm gonna say it like this. I probably would be at least somewhat just as good as him, but I would need to put just as much time as Matt into Resident Evil games to be just as good as him. That is the thing that basically puts a difference between MDR and every other person. Matt basically put a lot of times into those games and how to play them. He knows those games far and wide, and that's basically all there is to it. Alright, we got final 10 laps of the race. But yeah, I'm definitely, I'm gonna put it like this, I'm definitely gonna do in the future a no-hit playthroughs of all the Resident Evil games. I just need to find like a good opening window in which I'm either not really inspired to play any other games, or there's nothing new that I can play for those games to, you know, to basically play those games. Because if there's one game that I could try to perform a no-hit, like 100%, it would be Resident Evil 3, the classic. First without all the Nemesis fights, and then with all Nemi fights. The problem with me doing those runs is that I would basically kind of replicate all the strats that we already know about how to fight Nemesis, because there's no new strats, there's no new things to learn about that. The only thing that I can basically do is try to replicate it, and that's it. But yeah, we're gonna have some time with Resident Evil. Oh, actually, when it comes to separate ways, just a little bit of an add-on. With separate ways, we're gonna get a new version of the game. That means that all the games, that means that all the mods, at least most of them, they're gonna have to be patched for the newer version as well. Like, for example, no weapon sway, no crosshair bullshit. That's gonna have to get patched. The REF framework is gonna have to get patched because of the vignette effects. Like, I honestly think that I'm gonna play separate ways on the Halloween marathon, and not like right now. I'm basically gonna wait for it a little bit so I can get all the mods that I think are necessary for RE4 to be a less frustrating experience, to basically be patch updated and released. Besides that, I don't really know what else to say. At least for the remaining part of the race. If you guys want to talk about something, go ahead, throw in a little bit of topic into the chat. I even have opened a new thread on my Discord, stream topics. So there's something you guys want me to like talk about. You guys can put in suggestions, because as much as I would love to talk to you guys and with you guys, it can be quite impossible for me alone to like figure out all the freaking topics. We've got 5 laps yet. Have you watched the state of play? Yeah, that is the thing. That is the thing I was talking about earlier. The state of play, the PlayStation show. Yeah, I watched it. But like I said, from the entirety of the PlayStation thing, like, it was just all pretty much anime games and Final Fantasy, which I have I do not really have an interest in the Final Fantasy game at all. Like, those games never really inspired me. Maybe in the classic ones, yes. Maybe I'm gonna give them a try one day. But the Final Fantasy did not interest me, and the only thing that was like remotely interesting for me was the release of separate days, and that's it. Anything else, don't care, didn't ask. L plus ratio. I'm hyping you already pre-ordered it. Well, I don't really do pre-orders myself. Unless I'm gonna put a fundraiser and I'm gonna reach that fundraiser, then yeah, then I'm gonna pre-order the game. But other than that, not really. I'm basically a kid with money. Everybody's a kid with money until you have to pay bills. Like, I tend to be really careful with my spending. Well, unless we're gonna count this month. This month I went overboard, and I will admit that. But on the other side, that actually is pretty good because I'm not gonna buy myself any more games till the end of this year. I'm basically unable to. It's all fun and games, but you know, regular bills plus buying the hard drive, which was. Sure, it was like severely covered, but I had to add some of the money myself. Buying the board for the puzzle. Buying the meds, going through surgeries. But sure, going through surgeries did not drain me money-wise, but buying the medicine. But buying the medicines for post-surgery stuff, yeah, that drains a little bit of money. So, you know, in the very end, I'm basically in a situation of, hey, you don't have any more money anymore, dude. Stop. But can I get myself a pizza? No, you cannot. That's it, dude. That is it. You're done. Alright, just 2 more laps. Yeah, not even a pizza. And not just because I cannot afford it. It's mostly because there's like no good pizza spot where I live right now. Like I'm not even kidding. The last time I had a pizza, the pizza gave me like very severe digestive issues. You gonna prep your dinner? Sure, no problem. Jesus Christ, what was this oversteering right there? I think I know what it was. The car in front of me, the drag, did its dirty thing. Yeah, I will avoid that pizza place, don't you worry. I'm 100% avoiding it. Never gonna buy a pizza over there at all. Because I don't know what they were using, but I can definitely say that it wasn't fresh. Alright, and finishing up the race. either not fresh or lacking hygiene. Yeah. One can cause the other, honestly. Alright, let's see the results. Exactly, according to this, I was racing for exactly 1 hour. It's a very nice time. And take a look at that. The Nissan R390 GT1 from 97 did much better than the same Toyota GT1 that I was driving, which is absolutely crazy. Which that is absolutely crazy when you look at it. The Nissan R390 from 98, Ford GT40, which I think the Ford GT40 had like definitely more chance, have a higher chance to be higher in the rank. And then the Jaguar XG220. But yeah, let's see what kind of reward we're gonna get, because for this we either gonna get TVR Cerbera LM, or we are gonna get, if I'm correct, Lancer Evo 6 rally car. One of two. Today 91. Honestly, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with that Lancer Evo 6. It's also a pretty rare car, and it's also a very good car because it doesn't even weight. It weighs ever so slightly more than a ton, but it has almost 500 brake horsepower. So I'm good. I'm happy with this. I can't complain. I'm gonna save this into a save file. It is a pretty decent reward. I can't really complain. It's a very nice Evo. I'm probably gonna use it for the rallies. I'm probably gonna use it for the rallies. First, I'm gonna have to like set it up. But yeah, at least we got a decent car, because Cerbera is also pretty good, but I did not really want to have it. So yeah, we're doing good. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, people of Twitch, we're still gonna continue on with the stream. But people of YouTube, this is the end of this episode, the end of this race as well, as we can see. Thank you guys very much for watching. Links for all my socials can be found in the video description or in the pinned comment down below. And the music that is currently playing in the background has been made by Carl Casey at his official website wybetaudio.com and wybetstudio on YouTube. Thank you guys once again. I'll see you guys on to the next race.